Hello, SquirrelTribe. I saw something today on the internet that I wish I had not seen because I don't really know how to regulate my emotions the way I should as a grown 43-year-old woman. I should be better at keeping things under control. But when I see certain things, the amount of anger that rises up within my soul is probably concerning. But I want you guys to see this video, not because I want you to also be angry, but because I want you to understand exactly why I was just beyond pissed off, I guess is the right words here. And then we're gonna have a small little discussion about this situation. Look, I'm not gonna play the volume because the volume isn't necessary. Hopefully you guys can read it and it won't be backwards, but take a look at this. You guys can see this, all right? This is a older woman with her caregiver. And the older woman says that she's getting cold and asks to go inside, and the caregiver pushes her away and said that she's on the phone and basically don't mess with her anymore. And you can see the woman is shivering. She is cold. She is shaking. She wants to go, but because she has to rely on somebody else to take care of her, she has no recourse. She got pushed away, turned basically away and ignored. Also, the person taking care of her could continue on their phone call. And again, the rage that I felt was absolutely, it's not uncalled for. It's completely called for. My mother is 74. She's not in this situation or anything like that. But I was thinking about it. If she wants to spend her last days, as my mother said, she wants to spend her last days on a cruise ship. She wants to just stay on a cruise ship for as long as possible. And I guess that's where she wants everything to end for her, is on a cruise ship, because she loves to travel. And I was thinking, that sounds like a great idea. Do what you love until the last days, right? But what if she is in this situation and she's in a wheelchair at that point, or she wants to hang out, she has somebody that's supposed to help her, and they turn her away like that? Y'all, my bail fund would come in handy. Very much so, because that woman would have to crap her phone out if she ever wanted to see it again. That's how angry I was for this woman that I don't even know. But I read an article a couple days ago that talked about how there's more multi-generational living today than there was maybe, I think, 7 or 8 years ago. And we've actually talked about this over the course of this channel, over the course of SquirrelTribe, how multi-generational living, a lot of people were going back into that during the whole C-19 thing, because the cost of everything with inflation was absolutely ridiculous. So you had kids moving back home with their parents, or vice versa. You had parents leaving their homes and moving in with their children, so that everybody could kind of be together, especially when it was up in the air if we were going to be able to see family again, or what was going to happen with things. So a lot of people decided to quarantine together or live together for a long time in hopes of being near each other during the whole up and down of the whole pandemic, right? And some people obviously did it for bills and things like that. But a lot of people now are having to move in with each other, whether it's children moving back home because of bills or to take care of their parents, or a lot of parents are having to move in with their children in order to be taken care of. Because we saw over the course of the pandemic how many nursing homes, retirement homes, whatever the wording is there. I think it's different for each kind of location. Assisted living, I think, is another one. These places were, not all of them, obviously. There are going to be some amazing people out there who love what they do in helping the older population that live in these places, right? Or the ones that are hired on to help around the house or something, so that people can still have their independence. There are plenty of people out there that love their jobs and have respect for the elders, right? But we saw during the pandemic, which I like to call it the plandemic, but anyway, we saw how many people were pushed to the side when it came time to really take care of them during the height of the scare, right? And since then, it seems like the ability for people to respect and take care of our elders has gone downhill. And I hate the fact that it seems like C-19 started it, but that really is what it feels like. I see this kind of stuff a lot on social media. And the first question is, why are we recording it and sharing it? But then you also have to go, well, if you don't share it, people aren't going to know. It's not going to become something that people know to look for. It's not going to be, if it's not wide shared, then these places can get away with doing stuff like this. I don't know who this woman is, but I hope that whoever this woman is, that her family or somebody saw this, and that woman lost her job, and that woman was taken home to live with kids. Now that's where it gets a little dicey for a lot of people, A lot of people say, oh, I'd never put my parents in a nursing home, assisted living, retirement home, whatever kind of thing like that. But sometimes it's not feasible for children to take care of their parents when they get older. And this is one of those never right answer, never wrong answer kind of conversations, because as a child, your parents take care of you for the first 18 years of your life. In theory, they should, or they do. Without them, where would you be? Because you can't take care of yourself at 3 years old, 7 years old, 12 years old, right? They do everything to take care of you. So wouldn't it only make sense as when they get older and they are then reverting, sounds like the wrong word, but yeah, reverting back to the same type of behavior and need of help that we have when we're younger. Because, the older you get, the harder it is for you to take care of yourself and do certain things. Get up and down stairs, use the restroom, cook for yourself, lift anything, a lot of things, right? Wouldn't it make sense for children to then take care of their parents the same way their parents took care of them? And it seems like an easy answer. Yes, that's what we should do. But when you throw in everything with it, like the jobs that people have, kids that people have, what their living spaces are like, how much everything costs these days, whether you have a good relationship with your parents or not, it makes it a very difficult situation to be in for a lot of people. Yet you still see right now a lot of people moving back home because they see videos like this and they say, well, I can't. One, you have to pay an arm and a leg. Like the amount of money it costs to live in an assisted living or a retirement home or anything like that is absolutely ridiculous to begin with. But then you're also having to trust that people are going to treat your parents or your whoever, could be your aunt, uncle, grandparents, even caregiver, whatever, that they're going to treat them with the love and respect that they deserve the way you would. And that's not always the case. But I lost my train of thought and I'm sorry. For some people, that is the only option. There are some people out there who don't have kids. So what happens when you get older and you can't take care of yourself? You are going to have to rely on something like this, where a woman or a man is going to be your caregiver and help you with the things that you need. I don't understand how over time, and it's not even like this could have been how people were back in the day. I go over time, it's gotten so bad, but in the 1700s, it could have been the same thing. People still could have treated the elderly like crap. I don't know exactly how it always was, but my brain wants to think that before social media, before TV, before phones, before stuff like that, when it was carrier pigeon or steamboat or whatever else in order to get news to anybody, that people were better, that they took care of each other, they respected each other, that they wouldn't do something like this. This woman is so engrossed in her phone that she could give two craps about the woman that she is literally supposed to be taking care of, and to push her away. And then what happens if this woman gets a cold, gets pneumonia, and has some sort of physical ailment after this, or heaven forbid, it causes end of life or something like that? Can you imagine, as the children or grandchildren or whoever of this woman, how that would feel, knowing that, one, maybe you put them in this situation to begin with by putting them in a home because you couldn't or didn't want to take care of them, but then this happens to them. It's crazy to me. It is absolutely crazy to me. We have a 3-bedroom home for my husband, my daughter, and myself, knowing that our 3rd bedroom at some point will probably be where my mother lives. We also got a ranch on purpose, knowing that as she gets older, climbing stairs is not going to be feasible. So if she decides she doesn't want to live on a cruise ship, we will have the room here. If my mother-in-law decides that she wants to live here, we would find a way to build another room out so that we can have everybody here, because I don't think it doesn't even have to do anything with, like, obviously we love the crap out of the moms, right? That's what we call them, the moms. But it has nothing to do with that. It also comes down to respect for elders and knowing that they took care of us so we could get to this point in our lives. What kind of kids would we be if we didn't take care of them when they're getting towards the end of their lives? But this video sparked all kinds of just rage, absolute rage inside me. Watching that woman's hands shake because she's cold. Y'all, I can't even. It's just crazy how it seems that we have gone away from respecting elders. And of course, you can't automatically respect somebody. It is something that needs to be earned. But I feel like once you've hit a certain age, there should be just an automatic level of respect given until it's proven they shouldn't be respected, right? No person deserves to be treated the way that woman treated this elderly woman. Or even if it hadn't been an elderly woman, no matter what, she's in a wheelchair and she's asking to go inside because she's cold and she can't get herself there. It is no way, shape, or form okay for the way this lady treated her. So I'm just kind of curious, for those of you who are maybe in the older age range, who are contemplating what happens when you can no longer live on your own, do you want to live with family? Do you prefer to go to an assisted living place like this? Do you want to, ride it out by yourself and see what happens? It's always interesting to see how people feel about stuff like that. Because I hear a lot of people go, well, I don't want to be a burden on my family. And that's the weirdest phrase to me, a burden on your family. I don't think anybody should ever feel like they are a burden on their family. And if you feel like that, then maybe you have a crappy family, and hopefully you can find people who care more than that family. But I'm very curious how you guys all view this situation and what you would want for yourselves or for your parents. Like if you are in the younger crowd here, what do you want for your parents? What do you want for your grandparents even? Is it something you would be able to take care of, or is it something that you are hoping you don't have to do? Because, everybody's going to look at these kind of things differently. But videos like this should piss off everybody, no matter how you feel about the situation or your parents or grandparents or whatever. These kind of videos should be very eye-opening for a lot of people and show that we need something different when it comes to how our elderly men and women are taken care of, and the amount of compassion that is not shown to them a lot of these times. So I'm just rewatching this video over and over, and it's pissing me off as I'm sitting here. So we're going to stop. We're going to close the computer there. SquirrelTribe, I love you all. I hope you have a fabulous night. Goodbye.